Welcome to Breaking the News. This week we've come to the nation's capital. That's right, we are in Edinburgh. I am Des Clark, and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. And this week, we're coming to you from the Assembly Rooms in Edinburgh. Big crowd, we love it. Right, joining me are regular guests Jim Smith and Amy Matthews, and facing them are stand-up Elaine Malcolmson and comedian Ahir Shah. In the news this week, Meghan Markle's uncle has called her an underclass prima donna who has left her family behind. She was comforted by husband Prince Harry with the phrase, "You think your uncle's bad?" And Edinburgh's world-famous Jenner's department store could be set to leave its Princes Street home after 181 years. It is sad times, that's right. Jenner's survived 34 prime ministers, 5 monarchs and 2 world wars, but couldn't last a year trying to flog Mike Ashley's giant mugs. Let's crack on with round 1 of Breaking the News. This is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess the 2 major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. So, Elaine and Ahir, can you tell me the first story?
The general election.
It is now one of the biggest shopping days of the year.
Today it's the turn of the First Minister Nicola Sturgeon to set out her party's stall.
At Amazon, Curry's PC World and John Lewis.
The Conservatives, Labour and the Lib Dems have all launched their manifestos.
But are the bargains all that they seem?
So what do we think, then, that our first story might be? Elaine, any thoughts on that?
I think it's this general election, isn't it?
You are right, well done, Elaine. Yes, this is the ongoing coverage of the general election campaign. The SNP launched a manifesto on Wednesday. It was described as a very green manifesto, in that they just reused copies of the Tory manifesto with the word "no" put in front of every policy. Ahir, what about yourself then? Observations of the election campaign this week?
Well, I think that a lot of negativity is put towards politicians these days, but I think it's very considerate that every party has insisted on putting their representatives on television every single day as a daily reminder that I need to take my antidepressants.
Well, this is the thing. Obviously, there's lots of promises.
A political promise has about as much commitment as a gym membership in January, doesn't it?
Jim, you managed to get much of an observation in the election this week?
Yeah, well, as usual, there's always the kind of, they always send Boris or Jeremy to a factory or somewhere, and I think Boris was in a cattle market this week. Because obviously rural affairs is a big thing, and it's right that they should be talking about rural affairs, because old Tam next door to me has been pumping the minister's wife for years now, so...
I love it. This is the thing, they say one of the themes of the election is about trust. How are we with trust in our politicians? I said that with a laugh in my voice there. Do you think the election's all about trust?
I don't know. I'll be going into that polling station and I'll be like, pin the tail on the donkey. Just blindfold me and I'll stab a pencil somewhere. You see, because it's always in the local village hall.
Yeah.
Go into the little booth there. But it's the same day as the mobile doctor comes out as well. So in that same booth, I'll be voting and leaving a urine sample. So...
You worry you might go behind the wrong curtain. So this week we've seen Michael Heseltine saying don't vote for the Tories and Tony Blair saying don't vote for Labour. What effect do you think this has when you see these big political icons saying don't vote for the party that I'm most associated with?
It doesn't seem entirely unreasonable to me that people would prioritise getting a hard right Conservative government out of office over any particular alternative ideological option. It's just greatly saddened that it's come to this, and people like Michael Heseltine can't just sit in his garden and cultivate his eyebrows for the rest of his life.
A lot of work's gone into them, though.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely. They will remain. whatever happens. Well done. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. It is the continuing campaigning for the general election happening on the 12th of December. That is correct, Elaine and Ahir. You get 2 points for that. Now to Jim and Amy. What was the other story we were after?
The general election.
It is now one of the biggest shopping days of the year.
Today it's the turn of the First Minister Nicola Sturgeon to set out her party's stall.
At Amazon, Curry's PC World and John Lewis.
The Conservatives, Labour and the Lib Dems have all launched their manifestos.
But are the bargains all that they seem?
I could see you listening intently there, Jim. That was your concentration face.
Absolutely.
So go for it, sir. What do you think the second story is then?
I believe it's about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all these kind of days, and they've actually been upping the prices.
Obviously, it is about buying goods and getting bargains, and we may or may not be getting proper deals. Amy, are you into Black Friday? Do you do any shopping for this?
Not at all. I didn't really know it was a thing until really recently. And obviously, yeah, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It sounds like sort of Craig David's had a re-release. I don't know. Like I thought about it. It's just another example of Britain trying to get a deal and not managing. Genuinely though, the more I thought about it, it is quite a lot like Brexit, right? It's quite worrying for small businesses. We don't really need it. It's pitched as saving us money, but it's actually proved quite expensive. When we first heard it, we all thought, is it racist? And ultimately, it's an American ideology that's infiltrated British consciousness. It was a much nicer idea than actually putting it into practice.
There you go. That's Black Friday summed up for you. Elaine, what about you? Are you bargain hunting this Black Friday?
No, what I like to do is be a bit of a pest on Black Friday and tweet at customer service accounts. And ask them if they've got any hope left.
Ahir, what about yourself? Are you going for it, going mad for the bargains?
Genuinely, the only thing I've ever used Black Friday for is for bulk buying condoms, and that's exactly the sort of like needlessly nitpicky and cheap behavior that means I never get to use them.
Bulk buying condoms?
It's good. They're so cheap.
But I mean, can you imagine going in and just saying, give me 100? I'm in for some weekend, by the way. Black Friday, it's going to be a blue Saturday. Email them, right?
I can't imagine anything more threatening than turning up at a guy's house and seeing bulk bought condoms in the corner of his...
Look, different people have very different ideas of what constitutes bulk. I'm talking 6.
Elaine, what about you? Are you disappointed at this idea that we might be getting conned?
Well, it's kind of our own fault, isn't it? Never impulse buy. That's also the advice Yoda gives when buying deodorant.
Just wait till next year with Brexit, you know, and the Black Friday, folk, there'll be 100 women fighting over a tin of pilchards in Asda.
So obviously this is all about deals and bargains. Elaine, I don't know if you're someone that strikes a hard bargain. What's the best deal you've ever got?
Are you counting shoplifting and that?
Yeah, if you want, yes, it's a kind of good deal, yeah. So, shoplifting. Jim, Jim, in terms of yourself, obviously in your job as a farmer, you might have to do some deals.
Aye.
Best deal you've ever got?
I got a heap of pallets for a £5 once at a farm sale. That was good.
It's amazing.
Bargain. I wasn't bidding for them, I just had some in my eye. Actually, no, I had them.
Just a wee wink and suddenly they're yours.
Aye.
Ahir, what are you thinking, mate? Best deal you've ever had?
I think the best deal that I'll ever have is one that hasn't happened yet, but I think that I've made a very wise choice in having been born into a family where I have many elderly relatives who own London property.
Yeah, of course, this is the phenomenon that is Black Friday. Never been a fan of Black Friday or Cyber Monday. I prefer Knock Off Tuesday and buy it in the pub Wednesday. There was, of course, one amazing Amazon deal where you could get a 100% off. That was the deal that they reached with the tax man. Well done, Jim and Amy. You get 2 points for that. That was the mashup of the election campaign and Black Friday. And at the end of that round, the teams are all square. Now, so much of our news is about public opinion, so for this round, we've gone out and about in the streets of the capital and found some people to comment on the news. Now, Jim and Amy, for your team, we spoke to Edinburgh cheesemongers, Sam and Jock. What story do you think that Sam and Jock are on about here?
When you describe it, it's fairly disgusting and off-putting, but you got to just give things a go now and again, I'd say.
Gooey, confusing.
It's just pure guilt.
Is it even really Scottish? I'm pretty sure, isn't it like European?
Most people I've met definitely do like it.
I thought it was going to be life-shortening, and it was.
That might just be living in Scotland, who knows? Amy, any thoughts on that? What are our cheesemongers talking about?
That sounds like deep-fried Mars bars to me.
Have you tried it?
I haven't tried one. There will come a point where I have to, because sometimes in Scotland it's the only vegetarian option. It's the opposite of polishing a turd, right? Yeah. It genuinely, you've taken something that's quite nice and made it look like it's come out of a Labrador.
This is actually a myth-busting piece of news that the majority of us Scottish people have never actually eaten a deep-fried Mars bar. The deep-fried Mars bar now joins other Scottish myths such as Nessie, wild haggis, and a tram that goes all the way to Leith. What about this thing about Scottish food then? Because it does seem to be fair that our reputation in terms of the food stakes has grown a lot in the last few years. Would you agree with that, Jim?
Yes, we've got great food.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's your best? What's your favourite Scottish food?
I was up in Skye, the lamb there, absolutely beautiful. Brilliant. Absolutely beautiful. It costs more than actual what I get for a lamb, but it was well worth it. You know, when not that I'm getting on my soapbox here, but was that programme out this week about, red meat and it's bad for the planet, but that lamb had just been fed on nothing but grass and heather, and it just was...
And then brutally killed.
Absolutely. By heather, ironically.
Yeah.
Harsh woman.
Hit it with a car. The sheep in the roads in Skye are all over the place, so no wonder.
I actually made the news when I tried Scottish food for the first time. I tried a tatty scone for the first time, which I initially called a potato scone. Let me tell you, that doesn't go down very well. Yeah, I tried one, and my boyfriend introduced me to them. He's a Scottish man, and he came home one day from work to find me dipping them raw into hummus and sweet chilli. He then photographed...
Disgusting.
He photographed this. It went viral. It made the news. The responses on Twitter ranged from dump her to kill her. So I had quite a sort of feisty introduction to Scottish cuisine.
I hear, what about you? Obviously, you come to Edinburgh for the festival every year. Have you tried the deep-fried Mars bar?
I have tried a deep-fried Mars bar. I think they're absolutely delicious.
Really?
Yep, genuinely.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's the only food stuff I've ever consumed where afterwards, you know how normally you aren't able to feel your blood moving around your body? But after that, I felt so alive because I was conscious of how close to death I was. I'll never give them up. I'll never give them up.
Elaine, are you a fan of the deep-fried Mars bar?
I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but they're supposed to be medicinal in the same way that a dog eats grass before it needs to vomit.
And what about generally Scottish foods? Are you a fan?
Yeah, definitely. One thing that really interests me is the square sausage.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, or as I like to call it, corrugated bacon. Go to all that effort making it square and then put it in a round roll.
They do say a Mars a day helps you work, rest and play, whereas a deep-fried Mars a day helps you rest in peace. Yes, only 11% of Scots actually enjoy a deep-fried Mars bar. Unsurprisingly, Nicola Sturgeon has now asked for a second poll. Deep-fried Mars bar is the right answer. Well done. That's 2 points to Jim and Amy. Right, to Elaine and I here. Here's Joke Shop staff Zach and Millie. What are they talking about here?
I'm the complete opposite to my mum. She can just spring into action straight away.
It's not natural, really, is it?
I'd probably do it for too long, more than anything.
If I have to do this earlier, then I don't really feel very human.
To get a good amount of it, probably the pub. Yeah.
So I think that this is new research which shows that the 9-to-5 working day is a sort of artificial imposition, that we're not really built to do it. We should be sleeping a bit more than we all are. We should be getting to work a bit later than we all are.
There you go. It's absolutely right. That is the news that most of us are not genetically suited to the early start required for a 9-to-5. The person most affected by this news is, of course, Dolly Parton. Sad times, because working 10:30 to just after 6 isn't quite as catchy for a song. So there we go. We can't do 9-to-5s. We need to get up a bit later. It doesn't suit us. Do you agree with this study then, that we're not suited to the 9-to-5 life?
I think I do agree, because they've said if you get up before 8:30, you're risking your physical and mental health, as you might catch Piers Morgan on Good Morning Britain.
Jim, what about this then? Obviously you work probably very early in the morning, would I be right in saying?
Absolutely.
What time do you get up?
Usually about it's around 6 o'clock. I know, like these dairy farmers have to get up at 4.
Oh, God.
And they come up, even the cows are like, oh, come on, mate. These are not half hour.
Oh, God.
The bull's like, I'm way back to bed.
That is early, isn't it?
Aye.
But there is a lot of what we call flexi time now and working from home and changing the hours. Is it time then to just shake up the working day?
I think if I had to wake up at, just before 8 to get into office just before 9, it's barely enough time to cry.
Jim, what's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning?
Usually go home.
That's fine.
I used to drive a pea harvester. And
Just going to make sure I've got this right. A pea harvester.
yes, a pea harvester.
Pea harvester. We live very different lives, Jim.
Yes.
A pea harvester is what I call a toilet.
It's just full of. It looks very modern and outside the machine. I'm driving the machine and it's harvesting all these peas. And inside there's like 20 women for Dundee shelling them.
Oh, thank you, panel. That was brilliant. Yes, experts say on average a person is genetically programmed to wake up at 7:55 a.m. However, that's also the exact time my morning train is due to leave. But thanks to ScotRail, that means I will get another hour and a half at least in bed. Of course, working hours is the correct answer. Well done. 2 points go to Elaine and Ahir.
Good.
So this round is all about who's in the news. I'll play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So Elaine and Ahir, you're up first this time. Just tell me, who's this?
And the smell of grease paint and size when you walked into the theatre just hits you between the eyes. And it was the most romantic time I can ever remember.
Is it Zoe Wanamaker?
Yes, absolutely. Well nailed. Yeah, Zoe Wanamaker. Why has she been in the news this week?
She's been saying some stuff about today's TV. She says that it's violent and nasty, but I think this is just a big misunderstanding. And if she took time and she actually watched it, she'd realise that's not what Flog It is about.
Just sounds worse than it is.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone get hit.
Amy, she says TV's gone too violent and nasty. Do you agree?
No, I mean, it's fine, isn't it? I think there is a difference between when you're watching television by yourself and if you're watching it as a family. There are certain things I want to watch with my family. There are certain things I don't. I don't know if anyone's ever tried to watch Naked Attraction with their family.
What about this, Ahir? Do you buy into it? Obviously, you've talked about this idea of family-friendly telly? How do we make TV more family-friendly then?
I think some things sort of need the violence and need the nastiness because it's sort of the core of what they're about. Like, I think the only way to have made the final season of Game of Thrones worse would have been if Daenerys Targaryen had challenged Cersei Lannister to a televised debate.
Jim, what about you then? Anything we can do if there's this movement saying telly's too nasty and violent? Can we make it more family-friendly?
I used to like it, you know, in the early 90s, you know, when one of us we're a family of 3 and we all took turns of holding the aerial in the right direction.
There are certainly things that would make everything more entertaining. Like, I'd love to see Prue Leith do the coverage for the general election. Like, it would be brilliant. She'd announce the winner 24 hours before it actually aired.
Zoe Wanamaker is to star in a remake of the children's favourite Wurzel Gummidge. It's the story of a walking, talking scarecrow with straw hair and a turnip for a head who went on to be the Prime Minister of Great Britain. 2 points and well done to Elaine, and I hear that was, of course, Zoe Wanamaker. Right, Jim and Amy, your turn now. Who is this and why are they in the news?
You know, I feel 25, 26, you know, you do get a great buzz from it.
Is that Jeff Ellis?
It is Jeff Ellis. So, who's he and why are we talking about him?
So he runs Transmit Festival, and he has booked a lineup that has 13 acts announced already, with only 2 of them being women. It's just nice for him to, you know, make sure the music industry is reflecting every other workplace in the world. So yeah, he's come under some scrutiny for this.
Absolutely, yes, that is the right answer. It's the news that the boss of Scotland's Transmit Music Festival, Jeff Ellis, says that we need more women to pick up guitars and join bands if we're going to have a 50-50 gender split at major festivals. Ellis then went on to say that he's been proudly banging the drum for female representation. Well, maybe if he stopped doing that, there'd be room for at least one more female drummer in one of these bands.
I think he seems to have forgotten that he's not doing like a gig in a village hall in Fife. Like, if he couldn't find...
No.
We've all done those.
Yeah. Jim Smith organises that one. And it's 50-50 because it ends in a massive stramash and a ceilidh. Right.
I mean, he could be forgiven for struggling to find 10 female-led bands in Dunfermline, but it's not. It's like an international festival, right? If his argument is that more women need to pick up guitars, you can't be what you can't see, right? I'm only a comedian because I saw Joe Brand, Kerry Godliman, Sarah Pascoe on television. Growing up, I thought this was a boy's job. Right? And this, again, this isn't a joke, this is a rant. So, I mean, it's got to a point where if his defense is that more women need to pick up guitars, expose them, right? Put them on a stage, give them a platform where young women can watch it and go, I want to do that.
Yeah, it's a good point. I agree.
More women should be picking up guitars. Pick up the guitars yourself, you lazy oaf.
I hadn't actually heard of the TRN SMT festival prior to... Is it pronounced...
It's yeah. In the defence of Jeff Ellis, who organises this festival, the reason why it's called Transmit is because he says that there aren't as many vowels to choose from. So, we'd like to encourage more vowels into the alphabet, maybe. Elaine, what about Jeff Ellis? What about Transmit? Obviously a very successful festival. I don't know if you're musical or not. I just want to throw you a question here. If you were to be in a band, what would it be like?
Like Bewitched, if they were all Sinead O'Connor.
Yes, Jeff Ellis is the right answer, and 2 points go to Jim and Amy. And time now for our final quick-fire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. I'll read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks, so get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
Yoo-hoo!
That is Radio Scotland's own Kay Adams, and a shameless plug for our favourite brand of glue. There we go. OK, let's go. First one, fingers on buzzers. Here we go. More than half of over 65s are keeping what in case their children need it?
The details of a good plumber.
A surprise sibling.
For company or for a kidney?
Either or. More than half of over 65s are keeping what in case their children need it?
Their mouths shut about Brexit. If only, if only.
It's not right, though. Brilliant answers, these. Right, let's see if we can get it. More than half of over 65s are keeping what in case their children need it?
Keeping savings, like not spending their pensions.
He's only gone and give us the right answer. Well done. It is correct. Well done, I hear. More than half of over 65s are keeping a pot of cash in case their children need it. Well done to them. OK, moving on. 1 in 5 of us want what banned from buses and trains?
Other people?
Not quite right, though. Brilliant answer. 1 in 5 of us want what banned from buses and trains?
Fox hunting.
One in 5 of us want what banned from buses and trains?
Going over low bridges. Under low bridges. Fuck it.
Although going over road bridges isn't that great
This
either.
is brilliant. No, I want us to leave that in there, because every week there's a slight factual inaccuracy that we put in the show. Last week's was that none of the Bruins look alike each other, at which point everyone emailed and tweeted in and gone, but there's twins in that family. I can tell you 1 in 5 of us want sneezing people banned from buses and trains.
Oh, come on.
There you go, interrupting the journey.
Yoo-hoo!
Oh, there we go. That is a Klaxon K as Adams. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Jim Smith and Amy Matthews. Oh, commiserations to Elaine Malcolmson and Ahir Shah. And we'll leave you with the breaking news. Breaking news, Justin. Glasgow City Council have recommended the entire city should have a 20 miles per hour speed limit, and they intend to copy Edinburgh's traffic calming methods with the introduction of hundreds of unnecessary potholes. And the Royal Mint unveils its biggest ever coin. Yes, 5 kilos in weight and worth £5,000. The news coincides with DFS releasing their biggest ever sofa for the coin to fall down the back of. I've been Des Clark. The news is broken. Goodbye!
For the latest goings-on from Holyrood and Westminster in the run-up to the election, find the Podlitical podcast, available now on BBC Sounds. Next here on BBC Scotland, a song to inspire the next generation. The state of it is on the way.